Welcome to Micro Health Talks, where we bring you insightful discussions on all things that is health and wellness. Behind every successful entrepreneur, there is a strong partner. And behind every successful man, there is a strongest woman. We have been hearing this phrase for a long time, but then today I'm going to take you to a journey where you will manifest and listen to more of the story on this. Introducing to you, we have today on hot seat Miss MSP, who is known as Miss Mala, the powerhouse of ERBA. The how shall I define you?
Well, I'm first of all, I'm life partner of Suresh Vazirani,
Okay.
who had the courage and the gall to decide that he's going to do something about the backbone of healthcare delivery, which is diagnostics. So I'm the powerhouse of the backbone of Suresh Vazirani.
Well, what a definition.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I met Suresh in one night for dinner.
So, ma'am, when was it? Which year?
It was some time back.
Okay.
I won't go back too much into history.
Okay.
We feel very young and still romantic about each other.
We see that.
But the fact is, I met him for dinner thanks to a friend who introduced us. And he, something about him, I felt I knew him from much before.
Okay. On the
It
very
was-
first meeting.
On the very first meeting, it was like, it's not the first time I'm meeting him. It was like we were continuing on a journey. And it made me think at that time, maybe what those people are saying about other lifetimes is real. I knew this guy in another lifetime.
Wow.
Only his name was not Suresh.
Okay.
So I kind of got, it was easy to understand what he was, even though he was very man of few words. He hardly spoke. He smiled more than he spoke. But even despite that, I felt I knew him, in the first
For ages.
15, 20 minutes of meeting him. It wasn't like I was meeting him. It was just like I was remembering and recalling him.
Wow.
So it was really like a magical moment.
And I still see the sparkle in your eye when you say that.
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay. So, ma'am, he defines you as the visionary.
He defined me as a
Yes.
Yeah.
So, how do you comment on that?
Well, when I met Suresh, and he's a doer. He talks less, but he does more.
He does. Okay.
And I realized what he was doing, and I put the dots together.
Okay.
And I'm rather good at expressing things. So, if I may say so, I was able to express what he was doing so that other people could understand him,
Certainly.
which otherwise he was a man of few words and, very shy. That's what I did. First of all, to express what he was doing, and to say that I was really inspired by his vision, or his idea, or his work, and I was very inspired by his dedication. And yes, so we fell in love, and it was well, for him it was first sight.
And for you?
Am I right? For me, it was on the day 3.
Okay.
Okay.
You still remember the day?
Yeah, I remember the day. And it was crazy because he asked me to marry him, and I said, okay, on day 3.
Day 3.
Which was mad enough.
Okay.
If my daughters told me this today, I would say absolutely not.
No. Yes.
But, I salute my parents. They went along with it.
Yeah, you were revolutionary back then.
Huh?
You were revolutionaries or rebels, how do I call you back then?
No, I was, I guess I was kind of I was my own person, for sure.
Okay.
I wouldn't actually say I was a rebel, but I was very determined and I was able to do my own thing.
That's well put, determined.
Yes. And, that was important. And I always was able to substantiate what I was doing for others with a good reason and, the motivation. And so I was able to carry people along.
Okay.
This
So, ma'am, like on the third day, it was a one factor that gave you the confidence to take the decision.
well, Uh, as I said, you know, when you fall in love, you
Can I get
can
some
do
water?
crazy. Yeah, maybe some water.
Sorry.
I think I believe that there is an element of destiny, and there's a timing. And I think for me in Suresh, it was the destiny, it was the timing, and there was no going back. And everything, it's hard to say that when I'm saying destiny, at that moment, nothing else, you don't see anything else.
Nothing else matters.
And not only does nothing else matter, but options move aside. So that this is the only path you have to walk on. We got married, but we got married in 5 days. Why? Simply because, we are from the Hindu community and we do everything, especially important things like weddings have to be done when the heavens are in the most auspicious place. All the planets have to align, and only then we will do this life changing partnership. In his case, in our case, when we asked we informed our families. We said we want to get married, but we didn't want to get married like instantly.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, that was not on our plan. But when we asked the priest for the auspicious date, he said, for 1.5 years, there's no auspicious.
Oh.
There's no auspicious date for 1.5 years.
Okay.
Because of some planetary conditions, there will be no marriages for 1.5 years.
Okay.
And that we thought was quite disastrous. We didn't intend to wait 1.5 years. So thankfully, one amazing quality of Suresh is that he never gives up and he's very focused. So then when he was informed this, he told his mother, call back to the priest. I want to make certain that you haven't misunderstood.
Okay.
So she called back, this time on speakerphone, and we all heard him say, अगले मई तक कोई तारीख नहीं है.
Which is 1.5 year long. Yeah.
1.5 years from where we were. So then Suresh took the phone and asked him, how is it there can be no date? There must be some dates. Even now I saw lights, there are weddings going on.
Okay.
And so the priest says, oh, that way there's a date on Saturday. But you're asking me on Monday.
Okay.
How can you get married on Saturday? Suresh said, I'll get married on Saturday.
That was a decision.
That was the decision. On the phone to the Pandit, and he said, are you free? He said, I'm free. He said, okay. Saturday, you are marrying me and Mala.
And what was the reaction of your family to this?
First was my reaction.
Okay. Yeah, but what was your reaction?
The family said, are you crazy? How can we do a wedding in 5 days flat? He said, no, don't worry. We will do it.
Okay.
And it actually happened that way. Honestly, neither he invited anybody, neither I invited anybody. But our mothers got very busy. The telephone lines were buzzing all over Mumbai.
Okay.
And when we went into the wedding hall, and that was also surprising, even back in our days, that is 40 years ago, you had to book a venue in advance 1 year, pay an advance deposit, and then you got your hall booked. And this in 5 days is impossible to get a wedding venue.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, the Sun and Sand Hotel poolside was booked, paid for in advance by some other family.
Okay.
And when Suresh's brother went to ask them, first the banquets manager laughed at him. And then he offered him a cup of tea when he saw this guy is about to start crying. He said, you have to help me. My brother has to get married on Saturday. He said, I can't help you, but I'll give you a cup of tea.
Okay.
So while waiting for the tea, in that F&B manager's office, the phone rings and the party who had booked and paid the advance said there was a unforeseen event in their family and they had to cancel the wedding.
See.
Okay. And there and then we got the venue.
Wow.
That was just 72 hours before the
Wedding.
the date,
Okay.
the Saturday, you know. I think that was on a Thursday that happened. So that's what I'm saying. When destiny decides something has to happen, it happens.
No matter what.
And we were just, it was the moment for us, the destiny for us. By the way, Asha, that will happen to you too. I hope so. And it's a great event when it happens.
Yeah.
Embrace it.
Yeah, God willing. So, ma'am, 40 years of journey. Am I right?
Yes,
40
yeah.
years. So, when you look back to this 40 years of journey, tell us one mantra of yours. How do you balance this professional and personal life?
Uh, there is only one mantra that I can say is is just to work from the heart, because the people, you see, we only mothers, we only look after our children, and every mother looked only after the children. Where would there would not be enough teachers?
Certainly.
There would not be enough doctors.
Soldiers.
Okay, there would not be enough soldiers. There would not be enough IT, talent. Okay, there would not be enough people to run laboratories like yours, beautiful labs like yours. So we human beings have more than one role, of more than being only homemaker, more than being family. The family needs so many things to go right in society. They need good schools. We need responsible, uh, uh, professionals. We need responsible companies. We need responsible airline crews. We need responsible doctors and surgeons and lab techs and so many other professions. And they're all moms.
True.
Right?
True.
So I was a mom too. And I stepped in because when after I married my husband and we came back from our honeymoon, which by the way was a business trip.
Yeah,
It was my first training program with whatever he wanted to do, which was visiting some of those companies that he had been to, revisiting them, okay, for more training. And and then when I understood the importance of this work, that how much it makes a difference to have accurate blood test, to make the correct diagnosis in somebody's life who is already sick, who has a family, who needs to get better and get back to working and providing for their families or their children. I realized this is a huge, important, the nature of the work is not less than a teacher or a doctor. And and when he was working so hard and coming home at 3 in the morning, and I used to ask him, "Why are you coming home? When can we get a life? We've only been just got married. Like, when can I really see you by appointment?" And he said, "What can I do? I only come home at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning because there's so much work to do. In the daytime, I'm with customers." And it's only after the office closes I can actually execute the promises I made to the customers. And they're all hospitals and labs. So I said, the next morning, I decided, I don't know how, I woke up at 5 a.m. in the morning. I cooked her some lunch, packed some boxes, because even my two brother in laws used to go to work. And I packed boxes for me also and for them. And when they woke up at 9 o'clock, they saw 4 boxes on the table, and I was ready. And they said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to work with you. You guys have too much to do, so I'm going to come and help you." I said, "I can't be sitting at home. Either I go and take a job somewhere else."
Okay.
But that's not even as important as what you are doing. So I want to join you.
Wow.
That's it.
That was a decision made.
So then there were 5 or 4 of us coming at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
Because the work just expanded. Thankfully, now we have a lot more, and everybody can go home at a reasonable time. We have almost 1,500 people now, the team of
1,500 people.
Transasia, yes. So from that beginning, small beginning, we are now 1,500 people in India, overseas, and about 300-400 people, 5 factories in 6 factories in India,
Wow.
and 2 factories overseas, 3 R&D centers outside, 3 R&D centers in India. So it's a very big operation.
Adventurous journey.
Adventurous journey. And the best part is we found wonderful people who collaborated with us,
Great.
who bought the dream, who bought the idea, just like all of you have
The sharing
together in
combination.
your company. Okay. And yes, and that's how we are a force that the country can depend on, that
Certainly.
institutions and hospitals across India can depend on.
Rely on, certainly.
And we have a lot of users in many countries. We are exporting regularly to about 60 countries. And we have good partners there who are also reliable. So it's that's been the wonder of this journey, that and my kids and my family, I thought I was neglecting them. But one time my daughter was sick. She was 3 years old, and I stayed home with her. I didn't go to work. And she said, Mama, why are you not going to the office? I said, darling, you're sick. The mama is looking after you. And she started to cry. She said, no, Mama can't stay home because I have Didi. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Because there was a young lady helping me look after the children. She said, no, Didi will look after me. Mama, you have to go to the office. Because if the teacher didn't come to work, to the school, then how will the school work? Teacher always comes to school. Why, Mama, you can't go to the office? So I have to say, I was well trained by my children. Children are a great source of inspiration, and
their upbringing wasn't such a way as well.
and respecting the children and what the advice they give. They have enormous wisdom, children, and we can learn a lot from them. Many of our company policies have come from advice from children.
Children,
honestly. Yes,
that's interesting. That's rare.
They've been our partners, and they have been like board members since they were 3 years old.
That's interesting as well. So, ma'am, look, so this is a tip that you would love to give to the workaholic entrepreneurs' wives.
Yes.
It's all about balancing. It's about being a part of it and blending in with it.
That's right. When you can't beat them, just join them.
By hook or crook, be a part of it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And get integrated into the whole thing, because the children feel proud of what you're doing.
Certainly.
Okay. In the beginning, they might miss you now and then, but so long as they know that they're loved, and when you're required, you're there for them, they're needed for them, and to be there to share special memories, make special memories and bond with them. But when they grow older, they realize that they respect themselves.
Certainly.
Especially the girls, and the boys too. And that helps them to get a vision that you can trust. The world is made up of social contracts. We're dependent on each other. None of us can provide everything to our children. So we have to depend on the whole community.
Certainly.
And we have to give to the community to receive from the community.
I know I've heard a lot about your philanthropy. So, ma'am, what is your mantra on that?
I think I think it's one of the laws of physics. That what you give, I mean, every action has an equal and opposite reaction.
Certainly.
Right? This is also the law of so-called dharma. Dharma is nothing but the law of the universe. It's a natural law. Right? What does that say? What does the karma say? What you do comes back to you. It's the same law of energy. Any action requires energy. It doesn't apply only to physical matter. It applies to thoughts, deeds, everything, feelings. You send out good feelings, you get good feelings. Okay. Maybe there's some delay, but it comes back.
Comes back, certainly. So, ma'am, in this healthcare empire that you've built, so what is your favorite area or the core expertise area of yours?
I won't say that we've built. As I told you, along the journey, we had fantastic people, team. And I think, again, it was destiny.
Destiny, certainly.
Okay. And we were, the power of the universe wanted this to happen.
That is very humble of
We
you.
showed up,
Okay.
the universe, and we collaborated. Okay, not and we. When I say we, I mean like the hundreds and hundreds of people who joined us along the way and who are still with us on the journey. So, in my HR department, I'm now asking them to ask all applicants, do you have a bulawa? Bulawa, are you receiving a call to serve?
Oh.
If you're receiving a call to serve, we can consider your
Wow.
application. Because otherwise, you will not be happy in our organization. It has to come from the heart. It has to be something that you feel you are meant to do. Because otherwise, you cannot do this.
Certainly.
You expect a hospital to be there for you 24/7. You expect the doctors to be there for you 24/7. The nursing staff for you to be when you're in need, when you're down. But you don't want to be there for them. How does that work?
Certainly.
You have to be there for them. So in India, at least during COVID, we were the only diagnostic company supporting all the hospitals, including the government hospitals. And even even labs which did not have a Transasia ERBA equipment pre-COVID, when they realized that it was the only company out there, people were risking their lives to keep the labs going. They immediately ordered the product from us. And of course, it was very hard to manufacture with so many lockdowns. But because of 6 manufacturing sites, we could, when there was lockdown in one, we could make in the other. And somehow we managed to meet everybody's requirements by and large.
That was a journey during this COVID era.
Absolutely. And all of us knew I did not have to say anything. Mr. Vazirani, Suresh did not have to request any engineer or salesperson or product specialist that you need to be there. No, they answered the call.
Wow.
From their heart.
Wow.
Okay, this is the one fantastic thing. And I salute all of them. And they inspire us.
I hope they are listening to this and
I hope
they
so
feel
too.
valued by hearing this.
I speak from my heart. They are my inspiration.
Wow. We are very moved to hear this, ma'am.
This is the truth.
Okay.
At one point, we had, in the whole of COVID, we had about 60 of our team down, and we lost 2 people.
Oh.
But sadly, that was post-vaccination. They all survived the COVID. What these people took them down was post-vaccination. But all of them, we were like a team, including myself, 24/7, with doctors monitoring them, keeping a track that the medicines were reaching. Sometimes the hospitals didn't have the medicines, the antivirals. So we were sourcing them right from manufacturers and making sure that not just my engineer gets it, but everybody who needed it got it.
Kudos to your entire workforce of ERBA.
Yes, ERBA is an inspiration. The ERBA Transasia team is an inspiration.
Yeah, ERBA is inspiring us as well. The message is very thought-provoking.
Thank you so much. And all of you and the work that you're doing in Doha and in so many other countries, including India and Kerala and so many other countries, I salute you. You have also come through COVID.
True.
And you have made the same sacrifices.
Yes.
And we really love you all, is all I can say. And let's keep this feeling of wellness and goodness and love flowing.
Let's spread.
And that is the key thing. And what we do then begins to matter. Because, if we are not the best human being, then what's the point, right? Yeah. We fail as human beings. We may be successful as entrepreneurs or businessmen. Wow. What is the meaning? We're not going to take anything and go. If anybody doesn't believe me, just go to the pyramids of the pharaohs. They thought they were going to leave with their loot. I don't think one tent made it.
Okay. But again, you are giving us so many thought-provoking, intriguing questions.
No, but this is the truth.
Yes, let this set up. Yeah. I hope viewers are going to think on this.
I had a lot of fun with you, Asha, and I love visiting.
Pleasure.
the
We
lab.
hope that we share a common
Mm.
vision, like to make healthcare accessible to all the people, irrespective of which part of the globe they are in. And the very motto of Micro Health Laboratory is for precious life. And again, we share the common motto in that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Life is precious,
Yes.
and every sample is not a sample, it's a patient.
It's a life.
It's a life, it's a
Certainly.
family. Because
Certainly.
one person is not just one person,
True.
it's a whole family involved in it.
True.
So yeah, we have to make families strong.
Certainly, ma'am. So you give us a lot of inputs and value messages about family, balancing personal and professional life, work-life balance, about the
Okay, you
values.
want to know about work. What do I do in the company?
Yes, I was coming to that point.
Okay.
What is your favorite part of the company, which is a favorite department, and what do you do?
Well, basically, I usually, and I've started to do what nobody is doing.
Okay.
So whatever is not being done in my company that I feel should be done, I take the initiative.
You step in.
And I do it. Whether it is sometimes back in the small days, it was ensuring cleaning the toilets, okay, ensuring that the tea was hot and there were good fresh snacks, okay. When the products came and there were couldn't. I was so excited. I said, I want to go and tell the hospitals about this. So I joined
Marketing.
I did the sales and I did the brochures because I have to give something to the doctor when I go. So from sales, marketing, everywhere.
You have your hands everywhere. You have your
Yes,
signature everywhere.
currently in IT,
Oh,
in the
okay.
IT processes of the company,
What a
the
journey.
business processes.
What a journey.
Yeah.
What a journey.
I did operations, sourcing, factories, ensuring the factories receive all the raw materials they need at one time, and then handover. Once I create the systems, we hand over.
You are
Between Suresh and myself, we put the process together.
Okay.
We handhold. Then I'm more available to do training. Right now, training and orientation overall to company values, the company ethos, our direction is what both of us do with new joinees, and also our stalwarts join us in the process. And yeah, we are hoping the country needs us still. A lot of work to be done. We want people with Bulawa.
Yes.
Please, if you know those who want to do this work,
Join us.
them in our way. We are always open.
Certainly. Ma'am, what is the one message that you would love to give to the community as an end note?
One message is love what you do, and because there's something out here today's generation which is really confusing young people, and they feel they have to do only what they love to do, which is really confusing because you may like to we may love to do something, but then we should not expect to get paid for it, right? We should not expect that we should get paid, we should get recognized, and everything should go the way that we want, right? Because frankly, we're just working for ourselves because we love what we do.
Certainly.
We may excel at what we do, but maybe the world doesn't need us. What's the priority for humanity? What's the priority for your community? What's the priority for your country? I think one has to be part of that process and then love what you need to do for your community.
Wow.
Love what you need to do for your society, for your family. Love that. The fact that you're pitching in and you're part of, creating the chain of happiness. This is what you need to do, what you need to love doing. Okay. And yes, do what you love to do, but then don't expect to be paid. If you're lucky, if you get paid. Right.
So rather, do you mean to say that do what you love?
Yeah, no.
Or
You
love what you do?
Whatever you have to do, you find what the need is in your community, in your society,
And then love it.
in your company. Okay. By nature, I'm an artist.
Oh.
Okay.
Wow.
I would love to paint.
Okay.
And the second thing is I love to play tennis.
Okay.
But either I can do Wimbledon and that too maybe not. What are the chances? Right? I can go and play hours on the tennis court, but then why should anybody give me money for doing what I love?
Yes.
Right? And I like to paint, but why should somebody buy my paintings unless they love it? But today's youngsters, they want to do only what they love, and they want the world to make them successful at that, which is I think like it's like winning a lottery. So it's setting up for a lot of unhappiness.
Okay.
Yes, there has to be love in action. And that action has to be what the community needs, what your family needs, what your society needs. Be part of that process and love that. Love making that contribution. Because then people will love you back. And then you will get paid to and acknowledged and rewarded.
So
Right?
that is the whole ecosystem that you have mentioned.
Absolutely.
Yes, yes. So there's a lot you have told, ma'am. You have told about like love, giving, the purpose, the work-life balance, the personal life. What more? What a talk, what a talk, what a journey.
All right, one more thing I have to say.
Yes, please.
Our friends, Rajmohan and Usha Gandhi, who have been our mentors. Rajmohan is the grandson of Mahatma Gandhi. Yeah. They are coming up with a new webinar and a new activity. And this is to come back to the reality that we are one humanity. And let's come back to focus on one humanity and what we as human beings need, require to support each other and make living a human life in our societies a happy,
worth living.
wondrous,
Wow.
wonderful experience for all. So tune into their webinar on
Certainly.
the 2nd of October,
Yes.
which is the birthday of Mahatma Gandhi. And I'll send you the link for that.
Please, we'll attach the link with
Absolutely.
the channel as well.
Absolutely.
So, having said that, the messages of love, the purpose, the determination, and the enduring journey. This is Miss MSV and Alka signing off Micro Health Talks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having, ma'am. Thank you. We are honored to have you. Thank you for your time and
Thank you.
pleasure having you.
Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much. Thank you.